The moment the news broke, it sent shockwaves through South Africa and beyond. A modern African monarchy, centuries old, was suddenly divided, contested, and thrust into a legal and political storm. At the center of it all stood one man, quiet, composed, and carrying the weight of a nation's history on his shoulders. King Misuzulu Zwelithini did not rise to the throne through celebration alone, but through tension, uncertainty, and the deep expectations of over 11 million Zulu people watching his every move. Born into the royal household of King Goodwill Zwelithini, the longest-reigning monarch in Zulu history, Misuzulu grew up in the shadow of greatness. His father was more than a king. He was a cultural pillar, a unifying symbol, and a custodian of tradition during South Africa's most turbulent transitions. As a young prince, Misuzulu was never publicly positioned as the obvious successor. The Zulu royal family is complex, governed by custom, lineage, and tradition rather than simple inheritance, and succession has never been without controversy. When King Goodwill Zwelithini passed away in March 2021, the Zulu nation entered a period of mourning that quickly turned into uncertainty. A will surfaced naming Misuzulu as the next king, reportedly endorsed by the late monarch and the late Queen Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu, herself a respected royal figure from Eswatini. But instead of unity, the announcement exposed fractures within the royal household. Some family members challenged the legitimacy of the will, while others questioned whether proper customs had been followed. As legal battles unfolded, Misuzulu remained largely silent. While courtrooms debated royal tradition and legality, the future king chose restraint over spectacle. This silence to some was strength, to others it was mystery. But behind the scenes, powerful forces, traditional leaders, political institutions, and cultural custodians were weighing the consequences of every decision. In May 2022, despite ongoing disputes, Misuzulu was formally recognized by the South African government as the king of the Zulu nation. This recognition carried enormous weight. It was not merely symbolic. It affirmed his position within the constitutional framework of a democratic state, where traditional authority and modern governance must coexist. Soon after, he was officially crowned in a ceremony steeped in ancient ritual, attended by thousands, watched by millions, and marked by both celebration and protest. Ascending the throne, King Misuzulu inherited more than a crown. He inherited unresolved family tensions, legal challenges, and a nation grappling with poverty, unemployment, and identity in a rapidly changing world. Unlike his father, who ruled for decades and commanded unquestioned authority, Misuzulu's reign began under scrutiny. Every move was analyzed, every silence interpreted. Every statement weighed for meaning. Yet, what distinguishes King Misuzulu is not noise but posture. He presents himself as a modern traditional leader, one who respects ancestral customs while acknowledging the realities of the present. He speaks of unity, discipline, and restoring dignity to the Zulu monarchy. He emphasizes respect for tradition, but also the need for the monarchy to remain relevant to younger generations who live in a digital, globalized age. His leadership style contrasts sharply with the drama surrounding his ascension. While others fought publicly, he projected calm. While critics questioned his authority, he focused on ceremony, symbolism, and continuity. This has slowly reshaped public perception. For many Zulus, the crown matters not because of politics, but because it represents identity, heritage, and pride. King Misuzulu's reign is still young, and its direction is not yet fully written. He stands at a crossroads where tradition meets modernity, where royal authority exists within constitutional limits, and where unity must be rebuilt after division. His challenge is immense: to honor the past without being trapped by it, and to lead a people whose expectations are as heavy as the crown itself. As the drums fade and the dust of coronation settles, one truth remains clear. King Misuzulu Zwelithini is not merely ruling a kingdom, he is navigating history in real time. Whether his reign will be remembered for healing or continued conflict will depend on the choices he makes now, in the quiet moments far from ceremony, where true leadership is tested.